Alright, let's check the trailer. Okay.
Seriously? You're doing the artificial storm experiment? Here? You're not about to go swimming with my most treasured record, are you?
You must understand. This record is a vital element of the experiment.
And you need to understand that it's a one-of-a-kind relic of rock and roll!
Oh, don't fret. I've taken that concern into account.
What?
The closest potential location for the experiment appears to be directly on the route of this cruise ship, the Freebreeze.
Wow.
My calculations show that we're veering off course. We're accelerating on a southward trajectory.
These people are fortunate. Born at the top of wealth and privilege.
Miss Grace, please, show us a new way.
What a coincidence. I so happen to have a similar device myself. 1999, 2005, 2007.
There is a pioneer who has crossed the storm.
There's a language that transcends all barriers. Please, everyone, hold on to each other and follow the music. And you're going to do the experiment alone?
That's the plan. And if I fail, at least you'll have one more umbrella for the others.
Wait, besides like these two characters, I know Marta, Dad, and the other person, but it's the other one from Lucy's story gonna be in there, like the one that was mostly talked to Enigma. Is there any good prizes we could get? We get her fight side cube. Alright. Last evening on Earth. Have the strings ever plucked the heart's tune? In the night, wave drifts south beneath the moon. In the distance, travelers sail, their homes lost too soon. Stage 1. A message delivered. We live in independence, yet we depend on others to survive. Oh, nice. Yeah, I lost by 50-50 and got Marcus.
When the first proverb appears on the shell, we reach the shores of elsewhere. The island, the upturned palm of Mother Sea.
So welcome in, CC Investigator. How's everything?
Boat now beds itself in the golden sand.
When the second proverb appears on the shell, we kindle the fire, the crackling warmth, the spark of hope.
The joyful people are long blessed as one.
When the third proverb appears on the shell, we accept the sea's gift. The rolling waves, the plentiful fish.
The cool sea breeze cradles us.
When the fourth proverb appears on the shell, we face the test. The salty tears, the longing gaze.
Beyond the sea, I find no home. Beyond the sea, I find no home.
Is that gonna come out in what, 3 weeks or
You did well today, Tutu.
Thank you, Kamitsa. I was just playing my part in celebrating the success of the trade season. Nothing special, really. But what are we doing here? What could be more important than the celebration? I've never seen you sneak off on a bonfire night before.
Tutu, do you think you and your friends could fix up that old ship?
is this like a private island?
I know you're close with Toa Solane and the rest. They always make sure their first Faust go to you. I'm sure they'd be happy to lend you a hand. And the elders like you too. I've heard many of them say they'll leave their spirit shells to you. So you can win their support too, right?
Whoa, slow down, Big Chief. Are you saying you want to fix up the Quick Spear?
Yeah.
But why? We've kept it docked for years.
Maybe one day we'll need to set sail again. To fish or spend some time on another island.
But the merchants already come by every few months to bring us hollow fruits and red snappers. Why would we need to sail?
Kamuto paces back and forth in front of Tutu, the rope stuck in his throat.
Yeah, but what if a storm hits? Are we just going to sit around and let the waves wash away our homes?
We've been through much worse than a few storms.
She raises her head proudly.
Remember when the waves came and took away Malaga? Halon cried for days over that little pebble castle. And then that strange oil polluted the water all around Ititi, the only place where the water's calm enough to hold a pow-pow race. We haven't held a race since. Then Miti and Vaipuna. But we've made it through, because that's what we do in the face of difficulties, right? We stick together. Besides, we're doing just fine on Melly.
Wonder what like location on the map
Melly
this
to
is.
the waves as well. If it comes to that, Tutu, I need you to take everyone and leave. Find somewhere to stay for a while. Can I ask that of you?
Tutu's brows fur.
You've been acting strange, brother. Are you thinking of sneaking off and leaving us?
I'm not going anywhere. I promise.
Neither are the rest of us, brother.
No. You must get ready. Start preparing now.
Kamuta's usual behavior leads for Tutu to make a bold guess.
Something's been bothering you since last trade season. You've been spending a lot of time at the beach, looking out to the sea. Did a witch put a spell on you? You better wear some malacca around your neck and carry nip bones and doll sleeves.
No. There's no witch. It's just something Miss Grace told me. It's been bugging me.
Oh, Miss Grace went to this island already?
Miss Grace? That outsider who calls herself a captain?
It's a witch! With the saying of the Nutukta, the trade festival slowly comes to an end. On the beach, the Nutuka bids farewell to the guests. In twos and threes, enjoying the rare moments of leisure.
I don't mean to alarm you, Mr. Kamuta. But 3 months from now, Melly will be devoured by a tsunami.
She stares nonchalantly as he's discovering something insignificant.
Miss Grace, don't say such nonsense. You're welcome as a guest, but that doesn't give you the right to spread fear among my people.
She's a time traveler. She knows.
What if I told you that the sinking of Malaga and Baipuna wasn't entirely caused by the tsunami? But there were other factors at play. It is true that the tsunami sent them into the sea. But long before it struck, foreign military forces had been eyeing the islands for their strategic value.
Those rumbling sounds, they weren't thunder?
They were torpedoes launched by humans.
She presents a thick document in her hands.
And I have some unfortunate news regarding them.
Kamutu grabs a cold, impersonal stack of white paper.
The area is now under martial law. Any development plans for the region should be revised accordingly. These coordinates, they cover Nukuteao.
After a brief investigation, they concluded that your home is an unoccupied area suitable for their weapon testing. It won't be long before they publish a report on this new test site and receive their rewards for discovering it.
The veil of nothingness was cast by our ancestors to protect us from the outside world. I never thought it would put us at risk. As chief, I must bring this to the attention of my people. Perhaps it's time we remove the mist, but without it, we'll draw all kinds of attention.
Kamuta clutches the report tightly in his fists.
Miss Grace, may I borrow this document? My people need to see this.
Be my guest. But you'd better persuade them quickly.
Why's that?
As far as I know, they're looking to expand the test site. It's on their agenda now.
Right. We'll have to set up a meeting with them to negotiate.
Certainly. I wish you the best of luck persuading those warmongers. And for your safety in the coming tsunami.
Every nonchalant word that leaves her mouth strikes Kamutu with a shocking gravity of the situation.
With all due respect, Miss Grace, not even the Nukutai can predict the movements of the ocean that far in advance. On what basis are you making this forecast?
It's not a forecast, Mr. Kamuta. Call it the wisdom of hindsight. Or perhaps I should put it more clearly. Have you heard of the storm?
I'm just wondering, how many timekeepers are there?
Kamutza! Kamutza! Brother! The rain's getting heavier! We must go inside!
Rain spur Kamuta's vision. He stares into the distance, his eyes widening at the frothing waves. Roared towards the coast. The sea level is rising.
It's the tsunami. It's happening.
She predicted it! Like the soil beneath the ever-rising waterline, Kamuta murmurs words are quickly buried. The sea has almost swallowed the whole atoll.
What's going on, Tutu? Kamuta?
The worried figures hurried over.
No time for questions, Toa. We must bring these baskets to safety.
But Tutu is already pushing as many wooden baskets filled with berries and bundled materials as she can up to the higher grounds. Her hands are a sword red, her face set with desperate determination.
There's food and clothes in there.
Here, I'll give you a hand.
A tall figure rushes over, grabbing the basket from the children's hand and tossing them aside.
Chief, what are you doing?
Leave them. There's no time. We must get to the ship. Now!
Our people still have to live after the flood's over. If we don't bring something, what are we going to eat? Or wear? These things won't fall into our laps, you know.
Listen, it's different this time. You...
Uh-oh, what's happening? Are they getting attacked? Before Kabuto can finish speaking, a few dark shadows darts out from the shadows. Oh, is it critters?
Choo-choo! Watch out!
A row of sharp claws grazes Kabuto's back.
What are all these splinter cats doing here?
Look like a crab. The near endless surge of critters starts to create an even greater panic.
These aren't just splinter cats. Are those Sarmatian sea snails? And crabs with ghost faces?
I've never seen them all come out together before. What kind of storm is this?
In a flash of lightning, doubt and worry flickers across Makuta's face.
They could sense the coming tsunami. Come! We need more hands to drive them off.
Understood.
Turn it back, okay.
Keep the sample.
Let's see. I'm not going to... Wait, should I use Marcus? Marcus is this one, right? Channel.
Or this one.
Is it Marcus also? Mass attack and single target.
This book? Please, allow me to read. Great. No mistakes. Be careful with the pages. Liam. Or this one.
A good point.
Perfectly understood. Like a metaphor?
The benefits of field mapping.
Feel like dark and grace.
Liam! A new hypothesis.
This book?
Since this is going to go to the next turn, I'm only going to use this one
A good
to
point.
really knock him out.
Calculating distance.
Time to turn the page. That wasn't even as tough as waking up an old factory man.
I guess from this stage we may be able to do another tempo soon. The fleeing critters surge like the tide, scattering the Makuta. Many are left wounded.
Go! All of you! Now! Everyone get to the quick spear!
So the quick spear is a bolt or
This
something,
tsunami,
or
it's the worst I've ever seen. Is it true? Is this the end of Melly?
Tutu! Don't just stand there! Get over here!
from the shadows, a spiny claw.
to Bandvala.
Oh, is that Miss Grace? An inky black indentation flashes past her. A familiar face appears at the highest point of the reef.
Miss Grace!
Grace surveys the scene, a gentle smile on her face.
Seems I'm right on time.
You're Miss Grace.
You should be more careful out here, dear. People of New Katao, are you ready to set sail?
The pale shadow gracefully lands beside Fatutu.
Set sail? No. You've got this all wrong, outsider. We're not going anywhere. We Nukata will not abandon our home.
The strings of shells around Fatutu's neck heaves along with the defiant breath in her chest.
Tutu, wait. Maybe Miss Grace knows a better way.
She pulls away from Kama's hand.
Refuse all you like, miss. But your homeland will be completely submerged before long.
Her words are light, almost careless, as they toy with a moving rock before her.
We appreciate your help, Miss Grace, and we'll make sure to return the favor as best we can. But we don't find your view on the situation all that convincing.
You don't, do you?
The critter is now bound by Grace's incantation, is pulled before Fatutu.
Take a look at this little creature. One of nature's many remarkable creations. It has a fitting name, too. The Moon-Eyed Fiddler. They hide themselves in the water, covering their traces with the ebb and flow of the tide. They only come ashore when the tide is high, and from there they migrate to quieter waters. The diviners and arcane dealers, they are the living gold of the ocean. But to the people who live near their regular habitats, they are an ill omen. Wherever they appear, floods are sure to follow.
Grace takes a few stumble steps towards Fatutu.
This tsunami is only the beginning. Animals migrate and leave their homes behind when conditions become unfavorable. You should do the same. Look around you. Think about your people.
The tides of critters seem to have subsided. The Natuto still bleeds. Fatutu can clearly hear the labor sighs and grass.
Tutu, it's okay. We know you have your reasons.
Fatutu stands frozen. The sand and gravel carries by seawater, washing over her trembling feet. Tears well up in the eyes and the melted gray.
Do we really have to leave?
Grace gently adjusts Fatutu's collar, wiping the rain from her face.
The outside world is indeed full of dangers, but there is less to fear than you think. I'll help you through it.
The tide grows more turbulent, crashing against rocks and shaking foundations and Natuto's homes. There's a series of crashes as coconut trees fall. Earth crumbles and falls into the sea.
There it is, our ship.
Her ship is a cruise ship? From the thing or no? For some reason I thought it was going to be like a newspaper picture thing. Last evening on Earth. Is that Miss Radio?
Today's headlines. A new naval testing site has been established in an unoccupied area of the Eastern Pacific Ocean to facilitate future armament research and development. South America is facing a significant economic crisis marked by stagnation, inflation, and rising unemployment. The poverty rate in several regions has reached new highs in the last decade. The Ocean Conservation Association is calling for greater attention to be paid to the oil spill near the archipelagos, claiming that the relevant organizations have yet to launch a full investigation into the cause of the incident. The Free Breeze cruise ship is set to arrive in Sydney Harbor later today. Astrophysicists forecast a solar eclipse this month.
So this is happening in South America. A hand precisely pressed the little green button, and a painful wail follows.
Oh, Miss Radio! How could you do this to me? Today of all days? Your bloody alarm ruined my precious holiday lying!
My apologies, Miss Regulus. But it wasn't an alarm. It was the daily news broadcast.
That's why the side Miss Radio seems to have a clear
If the
signal.
morning news isn't quite to your taste, I can offer a variety of alternatives, including programs on literature and music critique, Australian food, and so on.
Oh, no!
The cries echoes through the room. Is it Apple?
Sorry.
Oh, Ursa.
It seems I've caught you at a bad time.
Ursa, having just peeked his head through the door, immediately ducks back. A one-sided conflict between it seems inevitable.
But please be careful, Miss Regulus. I know the LSCC encourages us to examine machines like Ms. Radio, but I don't think a violent disassembly would go down so well.
Regulus gets to her feet.
Violence? If there's any sort of violence in this room, I'm the one receiving it. Where's my justice?
Well, I'm afraid justice might be slow to come. The Australian branch is going through restructuring at the moment. Things will be put on hold for a while. In the meantime, you've been assigned to a new team, the Storm Research Group.
Who's on that team?
What? Me?
Yes, Mr. Ulrich's leading it. He made a special request for you to be on the team. He's looking forward to meeting you in person.
What? Just like that? Didn't anyone care to ask me what I wanted to do?
So that's what his name was. Regulus' puzzled expression soon gives way to a sudden realization.
Wait, why are you telling me this now?
The list of group members and the reasons for their selection have been up on Laplace's website for a week now. And today is its official founding day. You should be there, as a Laplace staff member and an important part of the new team.
Huh? Hold on a minute. As far as I'm concerned, I'm still on Team Timekeeper. And, more importantly, I'm still on my time off.
Good to see that you actually paid attention in our last group meeting, Regulus.
The owner of the suitcase, Regulus Xavier, the great timekeeper, arrives at the door.
Vertin! Oh, thank God you're here. Go on, tell them I'm still on holiday.
The fast-drawing pirate is hoping for a life
Sorry
preserver.
to break it to you like this, Regulus, but today's our last day off.
You can't be serious.
Of course I am. Also, Mr. Ulrich has invited us to attend the ceremony in Laplace. Shall I give you a moment to get ready?
No!
To be continued. That's kind of cool how each event has their own to be continued thing. The nameless black dot on the parchment cries out for atonement. In notion, right? In notion. Excerpt from A History of Arcane Entity. Due to the reclusive nature of the Nikuta, our knowledge of this enigmatic people comes from the sparse account of a few trading ships that have contact with them, and the legends from the neighboring societies. In the folklore of coastal civilization in the South Pacific, there are often tales of shell people or hermit crab people. These being dressed in shells, living in the water, are despite as otherworldly ocean emissary are guardians. They offer advice and guidance to the protagonists in the stories or help those lost at sea. With the age of exploration, the view of these mysterious figures was lifted, and a small island named Nikuta, known for its production of mystical and ethereal crafts, became a topic of intrigue among adventurers and taverns. Consequently, the intrusion of explorers and trading ships seemed to weary the Nikutas. The records from the period shows they gradually vanished from the page of history. They employed some form of arcane skill to conceal the island's exact location, ensuring their homeland never appeared on the official map. Today, with the advancement of maritime technology and increasing global communication, it is only a matter of time before the island of the Nikutas is rediscovered. The author can only hope that this inevitable encounter will not bring undue harm to the Nikutas, wishing that it can integrate into the global community through peaceful and friendly exchange. May the final chapter of this age of exploration conclude with harmony. So, stage 2, Free Breeze. The sea breeze to freedom. The last day of vacation. Already slipping away.
Captain, we seem to have deviated from our route to Laplace.
The road to the LSCC is very far with obstacles.
A great pirate, Mr. Apple, doesn't simply rely on her compass. She must listen to her heart too.
Ah, this Apple thought you were trying to slip away to make the most of your final day off.
Well, that too.
Like this year's returning victorious from the Trojan War, Relish Nimbles dives into the one vortex after
Your
another.
sucker rat whiskers all the way from Brazil. Perfect for brewing a chill wind elixir. Only 185 sharpadontes. See anything you like? You won't find a better price anywhere.
Wow, this is a good price. Do you have more of this stuff? Show me everything you've got.
Captain, might I remind you that Miss Sotheby is not travelling with us at this time?
He's the one with the money.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
The temptation before us seems the temptation before them seems to be endless. A street artist sings as paint flies through the air, almost splashing onto Regulus's sunglasses.
Alright, mate. Whoa, love the colours. How about bringing in some pop art? Trust me, it'll take it to a whole new level. You should come visit London sometime. We've got some seriously groovy art on the streets.
Pop art? That's a bit dated, don't you think?
beg your pardon?
Just as Regulus rolls up her sleeve, ready for a tussle, a not too distant cheer grabs her attention.
Did you hear that? We better go over there and check it out, Mr. Apple.
What is it? Could it be Manus Vindictae? Miss Verton did caution us against the Manus followers we might encounter in Australia.
No, it's something much more important than that.
He's going off track. Oh, or is it a wreck the records thing? It's a cruise ship. It's a new character.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest sail-away party in all Australia.
We're in Australia
For
now.
those of you who haven't signed up for the trip, think again. This is the ultimate sailing experience. Relaxation, food, drink, and music. Don't miss out. The Free Breeze is about to set sail.
That's the name of the boat, right? Free Breeze.
No need to worry about currency exchange, whether it's Australian dollars, Sharpadontes, arcane materials, or a rare collectible item. All are welcome in exchange for a ticket of equal value. A small price to pay for an unforgettable journey with the talented multi-instrumentalist Barcarola and her fantastic crackling box.
Cheers grows louder and louder.
We've also prepared a little gift for our most enthusiastic guest. A free cruise ticket!
Rega's gonna win it.
That's what I'm talking about.
This apple should have known better.
Ladies and gentlemen, the party starts now! Put your hands together for the enchanting Miss Barcarola and her captivating melodies!
Woohoo!
Compliments gush from the Terry-Siller's mouth as the star of the center of the stage suddenly turns her face away.
You're much too kind, Mr. Hamish, saying all these wonderful things about me. But I'm only a cruise musician.
It's thanks to the collective efforts of the whole crew that the Free Breeze has been so successful. I just feel privileged to be a part of it.
I know you want to stay humble, Miss Barcarola, but there's no reason to be so modest. Many of our guests come aboard just to hear you play, and I'm sure there will only be more in the future. So what's the harm with hyping the crowd up with a little round of applause?
Well, if it's for the ship, I suppose I can handle a little publicity.
Of course you can, and you deserve it too. By the way, do you know the guest over there? She's very, enthusiastic.
Hmm?
She follows the direction she's pointing to find a particular lively duo among the crowd. A girl dressed in red and blue and a floating apple.
Been drumming up the crowd. Sold us a load more tickets. We've never sold out so quickly.
All right, everyone, listen up. I've got some exciting news to share. This piece of paper in my hand could be your ticket to an incredible seafaring adventure. Just think about the cool breeze, the spruced up cruise ship, and the awesome music. What more could you ask for? This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for a trip you'll never forget. So, let's get buzzing! Throw your hands in the air and your coins out of your pockets, and let your dreams come to life. Let's hear those coins jingle and fill your spirit soar!
The cheering grows louder and louder.
Is she a local? Australians are known for their sunny disposition.
No one knows her, miss. But to be honest, I'd love to invite her to join the crew. If only the captain weren't so picky with the new recruits.
She nods approvingly at the freely dancing figure and clutches her crackly box tighter to her chest.
I know what you mean. Her enthusiasm is infectious. Maybe her energy would wake up our stuffy new captain. I'll never understand why the captain fired the old crew and hired a load of people who don't seem to have any clue about music. All they do is make noise, and not the good kind either.
Several startled gaze lands on Baracola.
We better keep it down, miss. They'll hear us.
He turns, peeking in the direction of the ship before abruptly retracting his neck.
We didn't hear any dissenting opinions about our captain now, did we?
No, of course not.
The crew members glance at each other awkwardly, coughing softly to urge the embarrassing moment to pass quickly. Guests come and go, and the melodies continue one after another. Eventually, the sail away party comes to an end.
Captain, if I may, perhaps it's time we made our way to La Place.
Come on, Mr. Apple. The crowd's going crazy for us. Can't you see how close we are to winning that free ticket?
I suppose you're right, Captain. But the crew seems to be packing up for the day.
They what?
Regulus quickly intercepts the crew's team before they can make their way back on the ship.
Oh, can I help you? I'm afraid Miss Barcarola won't be signing any more albums today.
What about my free ticket? Wasn't I the most enthusiastic guest tonight?
Sorry, miss. But the most enthusiastic guess was really just a turn of phrase. We're nearly sold out tonight, and bookings are still coming in. I don't think we can spare a ticket for you. Come by next time, and we'll see what we can do.
You!
Easy, Captain. They never really explained what they meant by the most enthusiastic guest. We're in no position to argue.
Regulus glances around. The once bustling crowd has dwindled to a few scattered passerbys. Clearly, there is no one present to uphold justice for her.
What a bloody scam! I'm filing a complaint. Just you wait and see.
I understand your frustrations. The ship is sailing in just a couple of days. Even if you file a complaint right at this moment, we won't hear a thing from the tourist office before we set sail.
The crowd frowns and pulls the crewmate aside.
I feel bad for her, Mr. Hamish. And just think how this will affect our reputation. With your consent, I'd like to offer this young lady a ticket and a stay in my cabin. I'll be more than happy to pay for her.
You've done this so many times, Miss Barcarola. I'm afraid I have to turn you down. You know the new captain won't exactly be thrilled to have a freeloader on the ship.
But...
Regulus barges between the two muttering colleagues.
So, how much longer do you need to think up an excuse?
All right. In view of your outstanding enthusiasm, we offer you a special gift for your help with our event. There. Thanks for your support.
A stack of souvenirs is thrust into Regulus' arms. Rejected, she turns to leave. Virgo pulls out a marker and cries out after her.
Wait!
I'm so sorry about all this, Senora. I hope this will compensate for it. Huh? I hope we can see each other again. Preferably soon. What?
To be continued. So we're gonna read the star, and then I'm probably gonna wait till the ad is over, and then we can do stage 3. Performance review. Please make sure she completes the document in person. Probationary assessment. Regulus. Codename Regulus. Time employed 11 months. Project team. The Storm Research Group. Unregistered. Assessment results not available. Performance reviews. Results on the influence of light and sound waves on emotional control on crowds. Safely verification of San Pablo Foundation communication equipment. Exploration of the possible of communication without numbers with the School of Apparel. No accomplishments. Probability experience. Assisted the timekeeper in investigating the storm. Consistently on the front lines of responding to the storm and have experienced 3 storms. These experiences provide invaluable data for La Plus storm research. During this operation, her numerous active contribution have brought wealth. So I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm gonna read everything that's crossed out or so. Of inspiration to the colleagues. In the interaction of the St. Pablo Foundation and the schools of abroad, she has displayed outstanding negotiation skills, making her a crucial and mainstay member of the Timekeeper Squad. Evolution comments. Alright, enough of the charade. The only thing in this document that she actually provided herself in this photo. I'll let her join the research group as a former researcher, but she will not receive any benefits until she personally fills in all the blanks on this form. Ulrich. Alright, let's start stage 3. Cryptographic for beginners. Just one of the many trivial obstacles a great captain must overcome. Is this Madam Z? Whose office is this? Oh, Ulrich's, right? No. The glass tank leans forward. The fur fuel ripples around inside it. So it is Ulrich's room, I think. The fur fuel passes at the motion presented before it.
They gave you this flyer at the sail-away party?
Not just that one, there's a whole stack of them.
All right, Researcher Regulus. I think I've got everything down. Let's run through it again.
Did she get in trouble?
Researcher Regulus suffered horrendous mistreatment during the pre-sale event of the Free Breeze, which has had a significant psychological impact on her. In order to recover from this traumatic event, she formally requests
A 1-year advance on her salary and 15 days of leave. The funds are to be used solely to book passage on a cruise trip, with the goal of replacing her negative experience from the pre-sale event with a more positive one. I'm telling the truth.
The fear fluid remains still for a long moment.
I can see that bottle of artificial tears in your hand, Regulus. Please put it away. There's no need for dramatics.
Thank you, Ulrich. I knew there was a soft spot underneath all that metal.
Not so fast, Regulus. I never said I agreed to your request.
No? Why? I'm a researcher just like anybody else, aren't I? Shouldn't Laplace be looking out for my well-being?
Regulus? You've been working in Laplace for 11 months now, and you still haven't submitted your performance appraisal or published a single valid project result. In other words, you haven't completed your probationary period, so you can't get the benefits of a full-time employee. And to top it all off, you didn't even show up to register at the first Storm Research Group meeting.
In the face of such overwhelming evidence, there's no room for rebuttal.
Well,
Oh, poor Regulus. Her protestament has grown noticeably weaker.
Please save me the excuses. There's still a chance for you to turn things around. You can take another assessment. We'll use the results to make up for the assessments you've missed. It'll be crucial for your performance review and, consequently, your employee benefits.
Bring it on!
Easy there, Researcher Regulus. You're taking a test, not going to war.
Ulrich turns and reaches into the bookshelf. Clearly he has prepared for such an outcome. Documents after documents is pulled from the bookshelf and placed on the table until Regulus can no longer see above them. How much paperwork does she have to do?
You said it was just a test.
I did, and I meant it. This is just some light reading, for you to reference during the test.
Light reading?
And this is the test. The numbers on this paper may appear random, but they're actually an encrypted code. Your task is to figure out what the message is. You can use the computer to help you, and you might find some useful books and papers in the second drawer on your left. The instructions for the computer and a guide on how it works are all in there. Given its difficulty, there is no time limit for this test. Best of luck, Researcher Regulus.
Good luck, Regulus. He exits, leaving Regulus to her mathematic prison. She's in prison again!
You'd better keep your word, Ulrich, or you'll be no different than those sailors. At least they didn't torture me with maths. Lend me your strength, Brian May, Jim Morrison, Frank Zappa.
She keeps all the records or vinyls in her backpack. How much time has passed? Regulus has lost all consciousness with it. Endless numbers dance before her eyes, spinning and burrowing together. It's like she's descended into some kind of cursed land of numbers.
You're taking a test, not going to war.
Captain, this apple has an impression on this.
Maybe you were their target because you are an irrational number.
Is it really a puzzle unsolvable?
Is it bringing up bad memories?
Scared?
Captain!
Follow me, Regulus.
37.
Best of luck, Researcher Regulus.
Ulrich.
Where am I? Who am I?
In her daze, she brought back to her days in Aprion.
Why is this happening to me? Is this some kind of cruel joke from that Aperon lot?
This realization seems to clear her mind for a moment. There's no escape from these mathematical demons.
Somebody! Anybody! Help me! Please!
Stay calm, Regulus. Don't be fooled by the walking fish tank. Oh wait, are we supposed to figure out... Oh wait, we're doing this too? This is just a itsy bitsy little test from the class. Not the end of your life. I get it now. I just need to add some lines to the border. Orc must be reminding me to follow plus rules. Huh. Who cares? Sudoku! This is just like Sudoku! Just fill in the numbers 1 through 9, making sure that they appear once in each row in columns of every 3x3 box. Okay. So this 3B already has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's gonna be 9. Ha! A bit of math is nothing like to this brilliant captain. Alright, so next. So 1, 2. So 3 is missing 3. 1. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Wait, 9 again? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is missing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4. We finished it! Cause that's kind of neat that they added Sudoku into the game. The mathematical onslaught seems endless. York opens the door and takes Regulus Scribble's piece of filled paper.
Glad to see you're still in high spirits, Researcher Regulus. But this doesn't add up. I gave you an encrypted code, not a Sudoku puzzle.
What do you mean?
Regulus looks as though she has just been struck by lightning.
Come on, get yourself together. The 9th storm has passed, Researcher Regulus. You've had plenty of time to brush up on your math.
Oryx tries over, picking up the paper from the desk on his way.
All right, let me explain. All you have to do is a basic decode and transcription of the result using the Laplace encryption key. See how the 4th from last digits have changed? There are no numbers greater than 24 within the 17th interval, and those in the 18th interval don't exceed 59. So, if we make a bold assumption here, these numbers have probably been coded using Laplace's nomenclature, where the codes of time are always placed between the 12th and 18th intervals. You'll see this a lot here. We use them for ships, satellites, manpower arrangements, and
you're
such.
Confusing Regulus still.
Finally, we input the result into the Laplace astronomy database to see if we find any matches, and there.
Is smoke coming out of Regulus's head?
A set of photos taken from space.
Huh? Are you telling me I spent the whole day doing this just to find a few photos?
These aren't just any photos, Researcher Regulus. Take a closer look. The first picture was taken on December 2nd, 1995, the day the Solar and Heliospheric Observatory was launched.
Orr continues to deliver a fury of information.
The second picture was taken on June 25th, 1997, during a period of sunspot activity. The third one is from November 21st, 1998. It's an image of the first satellite ever deployed from a space station.
And the fourth is from December the 28th, 1999. Is that a rugby game?
Yes. Looks like it was the last one held in that stadium in Melbourne. The place is just a commercial district now.
2000? Oh, that's 2001. Her eyes watered to the next photo.
Wait, this isn't right. If you're suggesting what I think you are, then these next photos are...
Her eyes widen.
That's right. From the fifth photo onward, we can't pinpoint their exact time or location. But it seems they involve Halley's Comet, 136199 Eris in the Kuiper Belt, the Uluru Games, and a rock festival. And there are more. Take a look at these timestamps. February 9th, 2001. October 21st, 2003. November 2005.
And the last one's from April the 16th, 2007.
Ulrich looks at the endless blue of the sky outside.
This proves one thing. Before all our struggles to study and control the effects of the storm, this pioneer crossed the storm unscathed and sent us these images.
The storm, that heavy topic. Once again, it rears its ugly head, mocking anyone who dares to make sense of its authority.
But...
thankfully, there's always be someone who doesn't bend to its desire.
why are you telling me all this? Did everyone else's assessments turn into some kind of top-secret briefing? All I wanted was an advance on my salary.
The fearful gives a stiffened pang.
Just for once, could you see the bigger picture here? We've been presented with an amazing opportunity. And all you can think about is your salary?
To be continued. Mind comes together here to help those in the big highest positions reach informed conclusion. Fish tank brainstorm. The topic of this brainstorm session is, how did this pioneer manage to cross the storm and continuously send information to the Earth's surface? The fuel fluid flows freely in his gas tank. Is it possible that this is just a prank? Like a cipher game created by one of us, accompanied by fake photos and data, and a different researcher struts. Then go and write a detailed report on who you think is pulling the prank, one every week, until someone confesses to being behind it. That's an abuse of power. The researcher who intended to remain silent slams the table. Alright, I have a thought. The storm rewinds people into disappearance, but some things that inherently exist longer may not be completely reversed. This pioneer could be some kind of man-made satellite that regulates sense data, and the storm rewinds it to an older version, but doesn't affect its operation. We already experienced time periods as far back as the beginning of World War I. No man-made satellites should even exist at the time. I got it! It's aliens! Aliens are crossing the storm and sending us some kind of signal. It's not surprising at all that they have technology immune to the storm among their advanced space tech, right? A researcher with a fanciful imagination raised his hand. Damn it! We don't have time to verify basis hypotheses such as these. The man-made satellite theory might just be a reasonable hypothesis. Maybe the internal structure of the satellite just happens to be a knot-like structure. Many of the satellites launched by the Plus have adopted arcane techniques, clearly capable of activating the immunity spell. The researcher, faintly serious, rests his chin on his hand. That's a good direction, but your reasoning is too idealistic. Let's proceed with the premise of that there's still a satellite capable of gaining immunity to the storm, and investigate further, regardless of the principle behind all this. Now, everyone spread out and check every solid in the plot's history. If this hypothesis is confirmed, it could be another significant breakthrough in our storm research. Stage 4, Music of the Era. At the Crater Musical Festival, the crowd moves in rhythm to the chorus of Night of Reverie. What's this on the ground? Hey, look what I found.
The dust in here. What, are we inside some kind of vacuum cleaner? Is that why you always wear that fish tank on your head?
Familiar with Regulus quirks, Ulrich opts for the most effective form of communication. None.
What's got you so quiet? Pulling the strong and silent act now?
Here we are.
Where are we? Still. Where did we? Wait, is this his office? Oh wait, no, it's debris, so it doesn't look like it's been used for a while. The site has been utterly neglected. Dust and debris litters every corner of it.
Here? As in...
The Laplace launch site in Sydney. We've collaborated with the Foundation and the Space Agency for various projects here.
Thanks for the heads up. I almost thought we just barged into some rock star's house.
It will actually take another 2 years before this place becomes an official launch site.
Oh, yeah, right. We're basically living in the past.
I visited various launch sites to verify the photos. Guiana Space Center, Placid's Cosmodrome. Then, I found this place. Most of its archives were lost in the storm, but a small portion of the early records survived. I left them here with the rest of the files I compiled.
Paper scattered into air as he rummaged through the files.
Damn it! Where did they go?
The fear fluid trembles in his tank.
Huh. So, does this mean we can all go home now?
Absolutely not. Alright, new task. Stay put and don't touch anything. I need to find those files.
Fine.
As Rouge makes the exit, Regulus scans the room. A click closes going behind her.
Oh, amazing!
Oh, going behind her eyes.
An old military base. Mysterious photos. This is going to be juicy. No chance Ulrich is stopping this rockin' pirate from going after treasure. I mean, very, very important files. The hunt is on. Ha ha! Let's start with what's on this table.
The clicking and clattering of rummaging fills the air like a string of cheerful musical notes.
La 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 da 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 do 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 do. I almost forgot. Can't go treasure hunting without some music to rock out to.
Turning the knob, she powers up the amplifier.
Woohoo!
The vibration reached Aura, causing a fear fluid to ripple. Even the desk is trembling.
Damn it! I forgot to tell her to keep quiet.
Uh-oh, it's rigging the critters! The screech of birds pierces through the pumping music.
What's happening? Is this an earthquake?
Stampede! A few agile black shadows leaps across the upper part of the observation deck. Tremors feels a note pinned to the wall and it flutters down to the ground. The handwriting is all too familiar. Investigation report. Multiple tribal attacks on humans has occurred in the area. They seem to regard this abandoned facility as their territory.
Ah, crap. This is the note I wrote last time I was here.
Remember, keep your movement quiet. The fear flu ripples violently.
Regulus, turn off that speaker, now!
Da 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 da.
Regulus is too immersed in her treasure seeking to hear him. The lava dark green sludge shoots down from above. Rick darts aside, narrowly avoiding the attack.
For fuck's sake! I knew I should have upgraded my memo module!
He looks to the observation deck. There's Regulus glitting, twisting to the music.
Calm down, Ulrich. You're a leader. It's part of your job to clean up after your team.
He looks over to the priceless equipment around him and sighs before ducking through the emergency exit. It's a big facility. The tripod's hollow is hot pursuit.
Which of these darlings shall we attend to first?
Let's buy this one this time.
Perfectly understood.
A new hypothesis. A good point.
Do you have a little faith in me, Master?
Calculating distance. The benefits of field mapping. A new hypothesis.
Or this one. This book?
Confirm the coordinates.
Finally, it's just you and me, Master. Do 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 do.
Ulrich sends a current through electric component around him, creating a carousel of sound that sends a tribal scattering.
Flux! Flux! Finally it's over.
Is Regulus get in trouble again? Ulrich stuffs the last page of damaged equipment into the recovery bin. Then he climbs back through the window. He is visibly drained.
Relax, don't overheat. You'll have to get used to this if you want to be a good leader.
Regulus bounces slightly into the room.
Ulrich! Look what I found!
She waves her treasure, a hefty stack of documents, signed in bold by Ulrich himself.
Where's my round of applause? If you're even half a leader, you'll fight your hardest to get a decent salary for such an outstanding employee as myself.
She shoots him a terrific wink. Just fine?
Sure.
Just one more thing. Scientist to scientist.
Regulus gestures towards the still sparkling machine beside Ulrich.
You made some pretty cool electronic music in that battle. Didn't know you had it in you.
Ulrich lets out a deep sigh, deciding to avoid any further argument with his team member. Wait, is Regulus
Here
the
are
only
all
team
the files
member?
related to the satellite. Look them over, Regulus.
Do we have to go through all this right now? Why? Is there some even more juicy stuff in them?
For you, it might be. The satellite carries a variety of arcane items: space seeds, dragon tree resin compasses, obsidian crystals, WFPCs, astronomical spectrometers. Even its power source is an arcane record player. We've made a list of everything that was on it so we can test them against the artificial storm. The satellite is an archive of the wisdom of the entire human race. It somehow survived multiple storms.
What are you gonna do with it?
Sadly, a lack of maintenance caused it to plummet to the Earth. It crashed in your time, 1966.
Regulus' sunglasses slides off her face, but she doesn't even notice. She grabs a stack of documents and flips to the last page. The telescope officially crashed in 2007 in Allenburg, England. All aboard instruments were destroyed. Recovery failed. Regulus Space Telescope project report as above.
The telescope project was named after a record that was on the satellite, which also happens to share your name.
Regulus.
Regulus pulls her backpack tightly to her chest, his pocket full of treasures. She strips through a series of records, her hands trembling. Finally, she finds the treasure she is looking for, a record identical to the one deciphered in the documents. It's from the 1966 Elbow Crater Music Festival, an accident from the past, and her all-time favorite. It's
My
Apple!
little thing. It was the record on the satellite.
Yes, that's the one. Wow, you've kept it in great shape.
So, this is the key to braving the storm?
It might be, amongst several other options.
I get it. That's why you wanted me on the storm research team.
Not just that. I've read the Appear on Island reports. You demonstrated some serious talent with the series puzzle in that cave. And you've faced more storms than the majority of the Laplace staff. We're not working together for a couple of research papers. This is about the survival of everything on Earth. We need all the help we can get, including yours.
Regulus falls into an uncharacteristic silence.
In fact, Laplace even held a meeting with the Foundation to discuss borrowing your record. The Foundation suggested we apply for an item transfer order under the Artificial Storm Project and let the Timekeeper take over the matter. Some of my colleagues told me that, according to LSCC regulations, lending assets to the center is mandatory for all staff.
The frequency of the Fairfield vibration is chaotic. It's a kind of unsolvable cipher.
But... Alright. Let me be honest with you. I'm not comfortable with taking your record by force. It's yours after all. It's your choice what you do with it. So, here I am. Not as your leader, but as myself. Hoping we can find a solution that works for both of us.
Has anyone ever told you that you're terrible at negotiations?
Ah, damn it. I knew it wouldn't be easy.
He angrily knocks his tank with his fist. He's so close to the record he's been searching for. The fearful ripples in the sublit arc.
Go ahead, Mr. Ulrich. Take it. Before I change my mind.
Regulus' expression has never been so serious.
You're willingly giving it over to the Artificial Storm Project?
His carefully prepared argument vanished in a moment.
For a cause even greater than rock music? Absolutely. But just to be clear, I'm only lending it to Laplace. You have to give it back when you're done. It's the only copy in the world and the future centerpiece of the Regulus Museum.
Thank you, Researcher Regulus. Thank you so much. I was gearing up for a much tougher talk. I even applied for additional funding and a month's leave to offer you as leverage. Well, I suppose I won't have to use it after all.
Regulus freezes.
What?
She gave in too soon. The suitcase is unusual in the usual harmony. Its occupation goes about their business, each busying themselves in their own little world.
Timekeeper!
Sonato, what's the rush?
I just wanted to remind you that our vacation in Australia is over. If you need any help packing, please let me know.
She wipes the sweat from her forehead. Then she remembers something.
Oh, and I have something for you.
She hands her a colorful piece of paper.
Huh?
Regulus asked me to pass these out. She won them at a sail-away party. She said they're highly valuable, the finest choice for any collection, if I recall correctly.
Looks like an ordinary flyer to me.
I've already inspected them. They're just advertisements with a handwritten signature in the corner, and some completely over-the-top promises. Regulus told me it's a trick that advertisers use. They use fancy words to catch people's eyes and make it seem more grand. Phrases like, an opulent odyssey upon the boundless sea, tour the illustrious Pacific coast, a veritable feast of harmonic reverie, rare and fortuitous seasonal discount, and facilities unimaginable in their splendor. What's this on the back? Nor happiness, nor harmony, nor fame. Nor pride, nor strength, nor skill in arms or arts.
Is it an incantation? Was that a spell? Those familiar words hit like a tidal wave. Yeah, Abby has everything.
Before a cruel whip, man who man would be, must rule the empire of himself. In it, must be supreme, establishing his throne.
So this is the
On vanquished will,
this is her past.
fighting the challenges of hopes and
I'm not sure
fears,
about what happened to her friends though.
being himself alone.
Because I think the storm took away all her friends from... I'm not sure if that was kindergarten or what. She recoils in shock. The flyer falls to the ground.
Is everything alright, Timekeeper?
This is a poem she once knew instantly. One that has been held by countless young hands and flowed gently through equally young voices. In the tree hollow, in the square, in the outdoors.
Sonato, change of plan.
You're going to the
We
trip!
need to contact the Foundation, now.
Already going to the cruise. To be continued. Budget crisis. Damn. These suspense reports is absolutely astronomical. Procurement list. Project Regulus. Dragon Tree Resin Compass. Compass carved from the resin of Dragon Blood Tree. Serving as the activation symbol of the Eastern Astronomy Arcane skill on telescopes used for navigation in extreme environments. Note: to procure dragon blood, the sap of the dragon seed for remanufacturers. To ensure foolproof production, the external contract has been issued for collecting genuine dragon blood. Obsidian crystals. Utilizing obsidian crystals to produce solar panels was a proposal by some arcanists at the time. The ingenious application of Aztec arcane skills significantly enhanced the effectiveness of solar energy absorption. Note: on-site collection of the Popocatépetl volcano, along with lab-produced control samples. Wide field camera. The wide field planetary camera, WFPC, with a high resolution of the time provided by the CATTEC, responsible for capturing image data. Note: send a specialist to negotiate, requesting a camera and design blueprint if possible. The price is of no issue. Astronomical spectrometer. The telescope is equal with various size spectrometer, integrating both spectral and photographic functions used for gathering spectral data. Note: labor-intensive task. Retrieve all existing spectrometer designs from Laplace and commission expedient production for major corporations. High-speed photometer, an instrument used to measure the brightness and polarization varieties of celestial bodies. It was decommissioned before the first storm due to malfunction. Note: even if decommissioned, it can't be overlooked. The museum might have replacement parts. Space Seed. Seed prepared for the activation environment for certain arcane skills at the time. Each seed was materially selected and symbolically significant. The original condition cannot be fully recreated, but similar substitutes can be found. Request as many as possible from plastic. Regulus records. The power source of the telescope, shrouded in complete mystery at the most enigmatic component of the apparatus. Note: the owner has been identified. The entanglement of the identifiable names being excusable fate into play. Through unscientific, this must also be considered. 5. Let me check what's this, achievements? So it goes up to 20. So that's a battle, but I'm not sure how much more of story goes after 20. The day we set sail, when all flows converged at sea.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. May the peace be with us.
May the peace be with us, my friend.
Constantine gives a slight nod as he peers into the
Xeno
shadow.
has been restored to its usual state. Aside from Igor's ardent supporters, the rest of the Xeno soldiers and officers were unaware of his betrayal. Just as we expected. Admiral Igor's funeral has been held as planned, one that befits his rank and status. All relevant personnel remained in South America for the ceremony, as per Xeno's funeral regulations. We're in the process of selecting a new admiral. I'll provide you with a candidate list shortly.
The Perro should be the new admiral.
Additionally, we've dispatched an investigative team to Tierra del Fuego to search for Igor.
Very well. What about the girl?
She pauses.
The girl? Are you referring to Lopera? Her emotions have stabilized, so we've decided to leave her in South America for the moment. Of course, she'll be put through the necessary investigations as circumstances dictate.
Keep a close eye on her. Oh, and that little singing bird?
Cassia takes a step closer, lowering her voice.
Zeno is quite upset about our decision regarding Miss Kimberly. They're insisting she undergoes a more thorough investigation. I feared that if we gave too much pushback, they would take a more extreme stance in response. So I agreed.
Those soldiers never budge.
Of course, Zeno agreed that the investigation would be done under the supervision of the Foundation. If nothing else comes up, she will be put into the Timekeeper's team and granted the same rights as the other members.
Good. Don't keep Vertin waiting too long.
Xenopius has landed safely. Constantine gives an eternal sigh of relief.
There's more. Madam Z has received word from the Timekeeper. The Timekeeper suspects Manus Vindicte is active again in Sydney Harbor. They're likely on board a cruise ship named Free Breeze. This would explain why our field investigators have been having difficulties with their tasks. Manus has covered their tracks carefully this time.
Where's the cruise bound for?
That's still unclear, sir. However, Moth just reported in confirming that the ship has passed the Oceania Islands.
An interesting development.
Indeed.
Constantine's tones carries as in particular a trace of pride.
We're making excellent progress. That's good. Assign a new mission to Vertin.
You mean to send them on that cruise?
We can't keep her under our wing forever.
Understood.
The conference room falls silent once more. Amidst the layered marble pillars, a flash of white flits past the window. A white dove lands on the president's hand and gently pecks at his palm.
What brings you all the way over here, old friend?
He lowers his head, allowing the bird to nuzzle his fingertips.
Oh.
The white takes wings, flitting
So,
over him once more.
Laplace has requested the Foundation's assistance with the Artificial Storm Project?
Yes. Ulrich is overseeing the project and has requested as much asymmetrical nuclide R as we can spare. He's also requested our help in determining the most suitable location for the experiment. I have several in mind that should meet his needs.
Constantine involuntarily pauses for a moment.
The location closest to Laplace's Australian branch is on the sea. Right where the Free Breeze cruise ship happens to be.
I see where you're going.
However, I do have concerns about how this might disrupt our current plans against Manus Vindicte.
Regardless, Laplace will have our full support for the Artificial Storm Project.
Unexpected determination.
But Moth's status still remains unclear. If we proceed too hastily, we might jeopardize the situation.
Her fleeting hesitation catches the president's attention.
I thought you'd have foreseen something like this. A few pieces must be sacrificed if you're to win the game. You know that better than anyone, don't you?
Is this also the Pax House's decision?
You have my word on it.
I see. I'll inform the Timekeeper and Ulrich of their missions.
Thank you. I look forward to their meeting.
We meet again, Timekeeper.
Pleasure's mine, Mr. Ulrich. I've heard good things about your work with Regulus.
Frankly, I was surprised by how selfless, passionate, and forward-looking she is. I'm truly grateful to have someone like her on my team.
The Fearful is remarkably stable. Certainly, this is a sincere statement.
The situation on the Free Breeze is still unclear. We don't know how many Manus Vindictae followers might be on board. Our plan is to board the cruise as ordinary passengers. Regulus said she's made acquaintance with a crew member and has made sure to alter our profiles so we don't attract any unwanted attention.
That's good to hear. So Regulus didn't use her money for her own amusement after all.
After muttering to himself, Ulrich returns to the task at hand.
We should stagger our boarding times. I'll reach out if I spot any signs of Manus Vindictae. Let's stay in touch. See you on board.
Ulrich gives her a reassuring pat on the shoulder.
Mr. Ulrich, we're more than happy to assist with your mission.
Oh, no. Please don't trouble yourself. Sorry, don't get me wrong. I'd appreciate your help were the circumstances different. But the experiment is still confidential. Please don't mention it to anyone. I'd like to avoid any unnecessary risks or interference. On the cruise ship, we are but strangers.
I see.
Don't you worry. I have a little disguise for myself too.
What is disguise? To be continued. So 5 stages in, and it's been almost 2 hours. Alright. Closing ceremony. All games must come to an end. Say farewells. I miss you, Spatia. Wait. Spatia, Urza, Miss Desert, Fano, and all of Australia too. But most of all, I miss my holidays. I miss you heaps. Come on over for a proper goodbye hug, friends. Couldn't ask for a better mate. Alright, easy love. Hands off the hair. I still gotta head out and sell the last copy of the Uro Pass Unrevealed and snagging tickets for dummies. Please take care, Captain. This apple hopes the issue of the Otto Laboratory will be dealt with by the time you return. This is all for the funding, Chief Mate, so it looks like we have no choice but to say our farewells. No need to get too sentimental. You'll all be reunited soon enough. There are joint seminars hosted by Laplace all year round. Oh really? That's good to know. Of course, all you need to do is download a form from the Voice of Laplace part of the forum and hand it over to your team lead. After it's proved, HR will put you in a queue before... Oh please no, I don't want any of this brood trick rubbish ruining my farewell memories. Okay, say... What? I think it's better we part ways now. If we stand here hugging for too long, we might end up drawing a crowd. Regulus won first place in the Rock Pirate impersonation contest. Now that's natural talent. Who? What? How? Miss Barsacarla, I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I can't allow this lady to board the ship. Why not? All our guests have paid for their trip in full, and their professionalism and region for boarding fully complies with the ship's regulation. Wait, so is Miss Grace? Miss Grace is the captain? Not everyone's profession meets the regulation. Let's take a look at Miss Regulus' self-introduction. An alchemist scholar from the renowned research institution, Laplace. A true heir of the spiritual rock. And a pirate who once dominated all the radio frequencies along the River Dimes. Miss Barcola, you might not know this, but back in the 60s, there was a pirate rocker who went by the very same name. She broadcasts illegally on the Thames, took pleasure in advertising legal broadcasting and record records, and eventually is shut down by the government. Although the UK government warns against this, pirate has been lifted. If this is the same person, inviting her aboard of wood could affect a good reputation of the Free Breeze. I met Miss Regulus myself, and there's no way she's the same person. She's far too young to have lived through the 60s. She could be a copycat. What if she mimics her idol's outrageous actions on the high sea? She wouldn't do such a thing. I'm surprised you'd be so quick to defend her. Don't you know that those pirate rockers made a mockery of true musicians like you? Why are you standing up for her? I witnessed her passion for the music firsthand. She's not mocking anyone. I'm not sure why she chose that name, but that's no reason to judge her for so prematurely. If you're still worried, Captain, I promise to keep an eye on her. I'll make sure she doesn't get up to any mischief in the broadcast room, or anything else you're concerned about. If she does something that harms the good name of Free Breeze, then you may throw me overboard along with her and my crackling box. Quite the fire from our star performer. Fine. If you're really willing to put that much trust in her, I won't press any further. And there's no need to worry about the broadcast room. I'm sure it'll just be fine. Alright. On to stage 6. As home fades. On the other side of the sea, there lies peace and boundless hope. She's tuning her instrument. The main hall is packed with passengers. Their wine sways slightly, imitating its chanting luster and the beauty familiar melody. Girls weave their way carefully through the excited crowd, like a school of nimble fish. The passenger nods politely to the girl at the front.
Miss Barcarola, at last you've graced us with your presence. Henry and I were just having a little wager on whether we'd see our musical star outside the spotlight. Looks like he'll be buying me the next round of whiskey, eh?
Well bet, signore. Allow me to pour you the first glass. How do you like your whiskey? On the rocks, perhaps?
Indeed. Thank you, my dear.
Over here, Mom! It's Miss Barcarola! Last time I saw her, she performed an entire symphony all by herself. She was the whole orchestra. I've never seen anything like it.
It's good to see you again, my little friend.
The woman behind her turns around and slowly pats the boy on the
Miss
head.
Barcarola, what a pleasure. I've heard so much about you. My child hasn't stopped talking about you since you spoke to him about the didgeridoo at Sydney Harbour. He was so excited by it that he begged us to bring one on board.
How lovely! The didgeridoo truly is an enchanting instrument.
So that's what her instrument is called?
It's so resonant, don't you think? It almost feels like it's echoing from the depths of the earth itself. I've actually been experimenting with playing it alongside my crackling box.
Wow.
It's a wonderful match with the tin whistle and kalimba, and I'm sure a number of other instruments too.
As she speaks, Barcarola eyes sparkle with enthusiasm. The administration surrounding her is so bright that it almost blinds the tourists standing nearby. Luckily, she's wearing sunglasses.
Looks like she's pretty popular too.
Two?
Have you forgotten, Sonetto? You're also looking at a popular public figure yourself. One that had half of London hunting. Cheering for her. The bittersweet burden of fame.
Their attention is quickly turned to a quiet corner of the ship. There's a group of people dressed in brightly colored clothes. Crowns made of leaves and flower adorn their heads, and their brown skins is glowing under the warm lights. They stand in a circle, occasionally glancing around, the shells on their chest clicking together.
That group over there seems unusually uptight.
Having absorbed all the adoration of the people around her, Baracola makes her way over. She certainly wouldn't overlook the curiosity of any of her guests.
Oh, those are the captain's special guests. They're from one of the Oceania archipelagos. Nukuteao, I believe. They're probably just a bit nervous. I imagine they don't often find themselves among so many foreigners.
After handling the small matter at hand, Baracola hurriedly calls away by the distant voice of other guests.
Nukuteao. I read about it in a history of arcane ethnicity back in the SPDM. It's a remote place, and its people hold a special kind of shell at the center of their beliefs. They've rarely made contact with the outside world. It's often been described as a peaceful paradise. I also read that the Nukutai almost never leave their homeland. Why are they here?
Their hushed conversation nearly meets the ears of nearby Nukutai. One young boy strides forward, his chest puffed up in indignation.
The Nukutai will never abandon our homeland. Just wait. We'll find our way back when the new era comes.
The new era.
Still in a foreign accent, those words sound all
Toa,
too
that's
familiar.
enough. Tutu told us not to talk with outsiders.
An equally young girl stands particularly in front of the boy.
But someone had to tell them the truth.
I apologize. I didn't mean to accuse you of anything. I was just curious.
Well, next time keep your mouth shut. What could you possibly know about the Nukutai?
The boy looks about ready to explode. Noticing the outburst, Baracola breaks away from the other guests and hurries over.
Please, everyone, no fighting. I'm Barcarola, the musical director. Is there anything I can help you with? I'll do all I can to ensure everyone has a pleasant experience.
Before she can reach them, a crisp collision of shells stops Baracola in her tracks.
What's going on? What do you want?
Her voice holds no restraint in her hostility.
Tutu! Alone, Toa, stay back! These outsiders can be dangerous.
Dangerous? Have you never heard of me before?
The Tutu looks her over, eyeing her particular wooden construction by her side. Suppressing her curiosity about the unique object, she steadied her gaze once more.
Whoever you are, I ask that you leave us in peace.
You...
Baracola is lost for words. Clearly, her status as a musician star has made her unaccustomed to such remarks. Ignoring the now flushed girl before her, the Tutu and other Nukuta retreats back to the corner.
Tutu, think the tides you came. I wasn't sure what to do.
So are we going to take Miss Grace's offer or not? She promised it would bring our islands back.
Toad casts a fierce glare at the Tutu.
Enough, Toa.
These outsiders don't need to know why we're here. And stop mentioning Miss Grace. It could draw unwanted attention.
But what's there to hide? There's no shame in wanting our home back. If we don't stand with Miss Grace, we'll lose Nukuteao forever.
I want to go home too. Probably more than anyone. I already miss Melly's red coral reefs, blue sea, and canoe races. We'll get through this, Toa. I promise we'll be neighbors again, picking breadfruit and coconut flowers together. But before we accept Miss Grace's offer, there's a few things that need to be made clear. And remember, none of these passengers are to blame for what happened to our home. Okay?
But Miss Grace has offered us a way home. We'll have our islands back, just as they were. Our promised land.
We will go home, Sloane. Trust me. I just need to figure out a few things first. Starting with this wonderful new era she keeps talking about.
You seem a little on edge, Chief Kamuta.
Kamuta is pacing back and forth in the cabin.
Miss Grace, how much longer do we have to wait for this new era to come? Many of our people have never left Nukuteao before. We're struggling to adjust. Some have even fallen sick. We can't stay adrift on the sea like this much longer. Our spirits are low. The shells of some of my people have begun to crack.
He lowers his head to the faintly glowing shell in his palm. They radiate warmth.
Not everyone is strong enough to endure this journey. Please, Miss Grace, you have to help us.
While it pains me to hear this, the journey must go on. You have nowhere to return to after all. We still have some space below deck. You can use it to store your people's bodies should they die.
Her gaze remains fixed on the crystallized seal in Kamuta's hands.
That's not exactly what we're asking for. Please show us another way. Help us like you did when you foresaw the destruction of Melly. I beg of you.
Grace tilts her head, a glimmer of intrigue on her face as she observes the pain expression on Kamuta's face.
I've already shown you a way, haven't I?
Sudden pressure swells in the chest of the sticky black liquid. Suddenly drips onto his skin.
You mean joining the Manus? But the Nukutai haven't had a conflict with anyone for centuries. That's why we hid ourselves away from the world. Difficult to persuade my people to do this. All we want is for our people to return to familiar soil, to feel our spirits at home. Nothing more.
But Melly is already gone.
Yes, but that doesn't mean we should take revenge on the outside world. It was an act of the sea itself. It would be unjust to blame anyone for it.
What about the torpedo test sites designated over Malaga and Vaipuna? Aren't there people who should answer for that?
It was probably just a mistake. The area they chose was far from the main islands of Nukuteao, and hardly anyone fishes there. They may not have realized that my people lived there.
And the oil spill? The wastewater discharge? Were all those fish killed by pollution also just an act of the sea?
Please, we're not looking
She's
for
trying to
conflict.
instigate everything?
Of course you're not. After all, they've only stolen everything you've ever held dear.
Her voice drops abruptly, her next words delivered with the lightness of a feather.
And arrogantly assumed every inch of this planet is theirs to exploit. War is inevitable, whether you want it or not, Nukutai.
She gently pushes the mask forward. Its dark presence is unavoidable.
But if you join us, you will have an invaluable ally. Time.
Grace glanced at her pocket watch before slipping it tightly into her pocket.
The window is closing. The sifting is about to begin.
Both a prop and a prophecy. The spirit shells around Kamuna's neck spurn. They cling to his chest as they twist with a ferocity.
Has it really come to this? To revenge?
His eyes flash up to the ragged mass on the table. Dark entrails extend from it, groping at the air in silent invitation. His spirit shells are almost scorching.
Oh no. It's quite the opposite. It's salvation.
To be continued. Stage 7. Music or lights? Which would you choose to fill your home with? The main hall is packed with people, yet there is no music to be heard. A particular scene indeed. Fortunately, the guests don't seem to mind. There is no stage in the world that offers a performance like this one.
Signora Regulus, as I'm sure you understand, there's a great deal of effort involved in creating a concerto. From the initial spark of inspiration, to the careful arrangement of the music, to the skill required to play it. The fact that any concerto has ever been performed at all is nothing short of a miracle.
Arcana tones is solemn, like a steady, intensifying march.
As musical director, it is my duty to select the perfect repertoire to bring delight to every listener. Then, the esteemed passengers of the Free Breeze can enjoy their dessert and wine with the finest musical accompaniment.
Oh, you can't be serious. Where's the fun in just sitting there and listening? I promise you, this lot have had more than enough lazy jazz and swooning piano to last a lifetime. We need to shake things up. Make this voyage the greatest of the century. How about some 60s rock? And wouldn't you know it, this visionary former captain has a record player right here with her.
He holds a stack of records high in the air.
All right, people, let me hear you cheer. Music is freedom. It should stir the soul anytime, anywhere.
Stop, Regulus! I'm the musicista here, not you!
Arcana cheeks flushes red. Audience cast amused by their antics on stage. A small flower-adored girl sits secretly among them.
These outsiders seem so full of life. They're nothing like what Miss Grace described. Full of hatred and hostility.
The tutu remains alert, her eyes fixed on the stage.
This is my performance. If you really must share your music with us, then perhaps you should go to the captain and apply to be a cruise musician like me.
With all due respect, Miss Barcarola, the point I'm trying to make is that only a DJ knows what the crowd really wants.
Before Brooklyn can protest anymore, the cutting the long line presses the play button on the record player. In a moment, all the lights on the ship has gone out. Rose has no idea her record player could produce such effect.
Huh? Did I just shoot lightning bolts from my fingertips?
Of course not.
Ruriko finally managed to route the microphone with Ruriko's hands, and far more pressing issues than the content of the concert now faces them. Amidst the darkness, discontent quickly arises.
Damned! Who's stepping on my brand new leather shoes? Will you please watch yourself?
I was just about to say the same thing. Just let go of my jacket, moron!
Could you all keep it down? I'm going deaf here. Oh no, my wine! And the cheese platter!
The calmer, erratic voice quickly fills the space.
This could turn to total chaos before long. No, I can't let that happen. I must go check on the master switch.
Hey! Miss Barcarola!
Please let me through, Signora Elizabeth.
Unfortunately, the guest can't tell a musician from a mechanic due to the darkness.
Barcarola, where are you going? Let me give you a hand.
Who are we facing? Recommended.
Keep the sample.
Perfectly understood.
A new hypothesis. A good point.
Keep calm.
Taking another look? A new hypothesis. A good point. No other study could show you this.
That weren't even as tough as waking up an old factory man.
Come on! There aren't as many of them this way.
Unbelievable. It's like you're an escape artist or something.
Yes.
I'll, take that as a compliment.
It is a compliment. Thank you so much, Signora Regulus.
A middle path appears, and Pirlo suddenly pushes towards with all her might. But it seems those prospects today are far from coming to an end. The flower girl, the faint light flickers across Barracona's vision, and quickly falls to the ground.
What was that?
A piece of rough bark, twisted in the shape of a lampshade, with a compass-like root burning warmly inside, shines through the darkness.
Are you okay? I'm fine.
How's the Sea Mother's eye?
Solid as ever, of course. It takes more than a few knocks to damage Nukatai craftsmanship.
I knew getting too close to those oafs would bring trouble.
Oafs? Are you calling me stupid?
Before the situation can escalate any further, Barracoa picks up the oddly shaped lamp. She's quickly basked in its glow.
What's this?
What did I say? Of course you have no idea what this is.
We form palm bark into lampshades about the size of a coconut, then tie fat-soaked compass grass inside. We call it Sea Mother's Eye. Every Nukatai knows how to make one.
They're way better than those noisy, buzzing light bulbs. Wait, why are we even telling her this?
Shh.
Before he can say another word, the Tutu hastily pulls Toa aside.
We need to lower their guard.
Huh?
Toa's eyes for Tutu's
so that we can earn their trust. If we don't understand our enemies, how can we help Miss Grace with her mission and rebuild our home?
Oh.
Besides, we can't just leave them to shout and run around. It'll disturb our people's rest.
Toa finally breathes a sigh of relief.
Trust me, that girl will thank us for this later. And then we can get all the information we need from her.
Then we should make more Sea Mother's Eyes and hand them out to the outsiders.
Now you've got it. By the waves, Tutu. You really are clever. No wonder the elders always listen to you.
Despite this praise, but Tutu turns away, a quiet look of doubt on her face.
Is this really the right thing to do?
Regardless, the sound of bark scraping grows as her people gets to work. One by one, the Sea Mother's eyes lights up. They are passed through rough and soft hands alike. Illuminating bronze skins, flask colors rise, and chestnut hair. As the warm light makes their way through the crowd, clamor subsides. No more panic shouts, no more arguments, only a unique harmony.
What peculiar little things. Reminds me of my days on the fishing boat. I always loved spotting the lighthouse on our way back. These look just like it.
The craftsmanship is remarkable. You'd be hard-pressed to find something of this standard in a factory these days.
They remind me of the things my grandma and I used to make when I was little. She could even carve a whistle out of a parsnip.
They're sharing food and stories, just like we do on bonfire nights.
Tutu glances at her fellow Nukuta. Relieved memories and longing are etched into
I'm
their
getting
faces.
more and more confused by Miss Grace's words.
The guests lean on one another, chatting happily under the warm glow of the lamps.
Miss Barcarola?
The timid voice of a child reaches Barcarola's ears.
I want to go home.
The scene before her is a mess. There is certainly no time for a symphony's performance. Among the crowd, she sees Regulus shaking her
Is
head.
this one of the changes I must make to truly embrace music?
A single note drifts from her crackling box. Then a harmonious melody of joyful, lively, and contrasting sound.
Whoa!
The joy illuminates by the lamps. The guests start to clap along.
Attention passengers. The Free Breeze is currently experiencing a power outage due to a fuse blown by a cargo leak in the lower deck. We ask that everyone remain calm. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. To make your wait more comfortable, we'll be offering unlimited ice cream shortly.
Ice cream!
Additionally, since we're approaching the habitat of the series, we're expecting an increase in turbulence and noise as we work to ward them off. We appreciate your understanding.
I got blinded! The hall brightens again, and the guests bids one another farewell, the lamp still tightly held in their hands. Berko exhausts deeply as Regulus approaches her, a smug look on her face.
See? What did I tell you? Music works wonders. Anytime, anywhere.
You were right, Signora Regulus.
You owe me one now. So, how about a little reciprocity?
She rubs her fingers together mischievously.
Say, letting me have a rock session on the ship?
Do you promise you won't cause any trouble?
Cross my heart.
All right, you can do it. But...
Woohoo!
Permission granted. Regulus doesn't wait to hear her extra condition. She's already dashed off, speaking as she goes.
Don't forget to thank the girl who made the lamp.
As if I need you to remind me. I'll have you know I was just about to head over to her.
Berko gently paces over the docking corner that has become the gathering place for the Nukatai.
Tutu was right. The stupid girl's back.
Shh. Huh? I must say, I don't appreciate being called an oaf or stupid. But I would like to thank you for your help back there.
What?
On behalf of the whole crew, you have our respect.
Oh, what do we do now? Tutu never said they'd be so friendly.
The bewildered islanders exchange glances.
Tutu? Where did she go?
To be continued. So stage 8, an old song at sea. A gritty song, infused with the hue of a coral reef and a hint of brine.
I've learned so much about the outside world since I boarded this ship. So... why do I feel even more confused? I trust my people. They're good and kind, and they've never lied to me. You just have to look at their spirit shells to see it. The songs and dances of Melly nourish the shells, and the purity of my people's souls color their surface in the most beautiful patterns. And Miss Grace, she's been good to us too. She warned us about the destruction of Melly, saving us from the flood, and she showed us the world as it really is. She even wants us to be part of her plan. Our ancestral shells have also told us how terrible the world outside is. That it's a place with Sanguma witches,
Nakarua serpents, and all kinds of other beasts. But
You'll see it replays again and again in her mind. The casual conversation, the warm smiles, and the glowing lamps
But
in her
now I'm
hands.
here, on this ship full of outsiders. And I feel that they're just like us.
Past and present blurs together as Fatutu searches her memory, leaving her dizzy and overwhelmed. In her daze, she's wandered into another part of the ship. It isn't until a voice snaps her out of her thought and she realizes where she is.
Hello, young lady. What are you doing out here all by yourself? Don't just stand there. Come on in.
Sorry. I didn't even realize where I was going.
One of the helmsmen gives her a hearty pat on the shoulder.
No need to apologize, my dear. You are more than welcome. You saved us old folks from sitting here in silence till we reach shore.
Charlie's just happy to have someone new to tell his stories to.
I bet Asam will jump at the chance to show off how he drives off those series too.
Series? I've heard they're a real headache for passing ships. But I've never seen one with my own eyes.
The Tutu curiously peers out the window. A strange yet familiar hymns fills the air.
Well, well, it seems this young lady knows a thing or two about the sea.
How about you give us a hand, eh?
He extends a rough hand to her. The Tutu takes a hasty step back, but the hand remains warmly held out before her. She has many hands like this before, callous, working hands like those of Grandma Piru, Uncle Turek, Grandpa, Natalno, and many other Nikutais. There's something uncomforting in this familiar.
Me? I'm not sure I know how to...
Don't worry, it's almost too easy.
These series are afraid of loud noises, and the Free Breeze has plenty of speakers on board. The sea is with us today.
Of course it is. For how long we've sailed its waves, why wouldn't it be?
The helmsmen exchange a few winks and shoulder pats. There's a clear camera between them. They roll up their sleeves as they prepare for their performance.
Get ready, folks! Port the helm!
Let's see what we're facing. I'll keep the same team, I guess.
Keep the sample.
Oh, those are the set ties, right? Let's do Flutter Page this time. What's Flutter Page just one? Okay.
What I'm good at. Just another shift.
A new hypothesis.
Do you have a little faith in me, Master?
Laundry time.
Calculating distance.
Got an extra one.
What I'm good at. Just another shift.
Wait a sec.
Or this. What I'm good at. Just another shift.
A good point.
Perfectly understood. Time to turn the page. Rise and shine. It's out with you. Finally, it's just you and me, Master. Did...
Port 270, hard starboard. Slow down to 5 knots. Watch the bow wave. Turn on the speakers. Time to chase off some sea monsters.
The seasoned navigator issues a steady flow of instructions. The cruise ship slowly turns, cheerfully avoiding the reach of the sea monster's tentacles.
Signorina?
He gives Patutu a harmonica and asks if she'll play it.
No.
Don't worry. Anything you play, will do. Can't be worse than what Essam has to offer.
I can hear you, you know.
The sailor's joker jostle as they clamor for their respective instruments.
I grieve to leave my native home. I grieve to leave
Also,
my
there's so many of those birds. They burst into a song.
Come on, join in.
The harmonica finds its way to her lips. Just like that, Knights of the Bonfire and Millie.
But a poor simple sailor just like me must be tossed and turned in the deep dark sea. Farewell to Nova Scotia, the sea-bound coast. Let your mountains dark and dreary be. For when I'm far away on the briny ocean tossed, will you ever heave a sigh or a wish for me?
One nameless sea shanty after another tears through the fog, with light shimmering on the sea surface like amber after a festival bonfire. Realization strikes her. She finally understands her role.
Miss Grace.
The outside world is indeed full of dangers, but there is less to fear than you think. I'll help you through it.
The voice and reassurance echoes in her mind. She suddenly feels weak.
What am I doing? Sorry, I have to go.
Hmm?
She scurries off.
I don't understand. Why are they so nice? This is nothing like the stories.
Her crushes hangs in the air, and so too does Knuckle at the door.
Come in.
Timekeeper, I hope you didn't have too much difficulty during the power outage.
Not at all, Sonato. It actually gave me the opportunity to try out X's latest invention, the bouncing bulb. It's very interesting. A little draining, though.
Would you like to try out one of these, then?
Did you make this, Sonato?
I did. Miss Saloni from Nukuteo taught me how to make it. It's called a Sea Mother's Eye. She told me every household in Meli lights them during storms to help guide those at sea safely home. She said, with this, no one will ever be lost in the dark.
Thank you, Sonato. And what a lovely saying.
Sonata breathes a sigh of relief, but her eyes remain fixed on the Sea Mother's eye.
After this mission,
We should be able to apply for a field investigation in Italy.
Italy? Thank you, Timekeeper.
So Netta is unable to hide her delight.
But let's focus on this mission first. May I borrow your communicator? There's something I need to verify.
Of course.
Connecting to Madam Z of the St. Pavlov Foundation. The person you're trying to reach is currently unavailable due to communication interference. Please leave a message after the beep.
Huh?
Just as I suspected, communications are blocked. Someone's jamming the signal.
Do you think it's Manus Vindictae?
It's possible. The flyer proved that this ship has some kind of association with them. We need to stay vigilant.
Regulus should know about this. I'll go find her.
A heart-wrenching scream echoes from afar, reverberating through the halls of the ship. That sounds Regulus.
Regulus!
He hurried over to the source of the scream.
Regulus! Are you alright?
Sonata stops in her tracks. The scene before her is all too familiar for it to play out countless times in the OSCC.
Beautiful day, isn't it?
Knowing the fact that Regulus just dropped her sunglasses, Ulrich calmly pours coffee into his energy
Mr.
intake.
Ulrich? What are you doing here?
A fair few squirrels in a distorted arc.
Good day, Timekeeper, Researcher Regulus, Miss Sonetto.
This really the disguise you went with?
Wait a minute. Vertin, did you know he'd be here? Listen, there's no way I'm paying for even half an extra ticket. In fact, he should be paying for me.
Well, this might take a while to explain.
To be continued. Should we leave it at that cliffhanger, or we just continue some more episodes? I think there's a ad coming in, so we'll see after. I might just go up to 10. So let's take a break. Well, let me check. How much time do we have till the ad? Got 7 more minutes, so let's do this part and then we'll take the break. Last second scramble. Knowledge is power. Quickly find the creature's weakness before you get killed. Encyclopedia of the Nether Lore, Sea Monster Edition. Celery, common name, pigtooth ray, anchorfish, deep bass disc, hammerhead ray. Back home, we call this a sea bat. That's not right. Sea bats are a different species and they definitely don't smash your portholes at night. Classification, subclass, aquatic primal critters. Order, oceanic. Family, ray form. Genus, flying ray. In my opinion, it should be classified as a bird. Distinctive features, broad wings, long tail, a pair of clawed fins, and curved ivory white fangs. Hey, I just thought of a business idea. We could pass these fangs off as ivory. Suri typically lives in groups and feeds on large fishes, seabirds, and drifting debris. While they may look similar to orlitos, the behaviors couldn't be more different. While are generally non-aggressive, Sirius are known for their fondness for challenging creatures larger than themselves. including sperm whales, Baishi whales, megalodon sharks, and passing ships. Sometimes, they even mistake protruding rock outcrop and coral reefs for foes. When a series spots a ship, they leap from the water, attacking the vessel with a sharp wing and calling upon its companions. They seem to have a competitive nature. Each sailor tries to soar higher and leave deeper marks on the target. Stay away from the windows. You never know how deep their wings can slice. Despite their large numbers, sailors communicate through a single method, sounds. They can produce a wide range of calls within the 10 to 180 Hz frequency range, ideal for water-to-water communications. They can sense each other's vibrations through their wings membranes. The best way to deal with sailors is to disrupt their hearing. Shouts, bangs, and music can confuse them, while enough volume can physically irritate their oral system, causing them to feel flee in discomfort. Now that's more like it. My former captain tried using anti-oil measure against them, which is why he's my former captain. So, part 9, Science Salon, on understanding each individual at Laplace. An unofficial meeting at the Archdon Storm projects was held before the Free Breeze set sail for Australia.
Did you wake up with a glitch this morning, Ulrich? The storm has already taken so many lives, and now you're planning to intentionally bring another one upon us?
Quit your worrying, Jonathan. The artificial storm will be under strict control, and you're not even on the research team. Besides, there are some issues we still need to fix, so we've come to a bit of a standstill for now. I promise you won't wake up to find the building engulfed by the storm.
Sorry? Are you saying that you've already started?
Ulrich, I have to warn you. Ever since you found that satellite, you've been pushing past the limits of Laplace's regulations. You've accessed materials from other branches, used valuable resources for your own purposes, and run experiments without proper clearance.
What baseless claims, Penelope? I'll have you know that everything I've done has been approved by the HQ director.
Director? We don't have a damn director!
But we do have a substitute director, so there.
He is a point nod to Enigma's direction.
For the last time, I'm not the substitute director. No one can substitute for Madame Lucy.
The familiar heavy knock on the table resounds once more.
But let's set that aside. We're here to figure out what to do with the satellite, not to stage an intervention for Ulrich.
The solution's as clear as day, my friends. We'll do exactly what they did in Plisetsk during the third storm. Find someone brave and send them into space.
He's right. Why don't we just build another satellite and see how it handles the storm?
A sarcastic applause suddenly erupts.
Wow, what an amazing idea! Truly a stroke of genius. So, we're talking about a controlled experiment, right? That means we'll send not just one, but dozens of satellites, all carrying different items.
What's the problem with that?
Money?
Oh, nothing. The budget team will be thrilled at the idea. Here's a better one. We sit tight and wait till the storm sends us back to 1995. And bingo! Surprise! There's our satellite, orbiting around the Earth once again.
Medicine Pocket, please mind your tone in the meeting room.
Oh, sure. Just as soon as they stop trying to waste all our research funds.
I'm with researcher Medicine Pocket here. There's no need to launch more satellites. We should be focusing on the artificial storm project.
Ulrich knocks the table, drawing everyone's attention.
The project has made substantial progress. I have collected every item that was once on the Regulus satellite, including the space seeds from Plessetsk. You have no idea how difficult that was, let me tell you. It was easier to get Regulus's record.
Still, you probably didn't need to steal it, Ulrich.
You say that, but I've heard that it isn't going all that smoothly. Accelerating the reaction of asymmetrical nuclide R with fixed frequency sound waves so as to stimulate the storm. It sounds impressive, but what's the payoff? Have you found the key material that provides immunity from the storm?
Good point, Lucas. I never claimed the experiment was perfect. In fact, I'll be the first to admit that it has some serious procedural flaws.
Huh?
Through 26 microscale artificial storms, I tested 7 different space seeds, an astronomical spectrometer, a high-speed photometer, some obsidian crystals, and a Lycopus lucidus talisman. None of them endured the trials.
Then what do we do now? Just give up?
No!
Ulrich awkwardly clears his throat.
But I have used all the asymmetrical nuclide R that we had in the warehouse.
What?
Medicine Pocket springs to their feet like a shocked animal.
Sit down, Medicine Pocket. Jonathan, go get some stress ball.
No! I can shout all I want, okay, substitute director?
Medicine Pocket slams the table, sending papers flying.
Ulrich! All the asymmetrical nuclide R! It's all gone?
I had to use it. It's just standard consumption, like in any other experiment. And I got results.
With that amount of resources, of course you'd find something, dumbass. Even a broken clock's right twice a day. Keep at it if you want. You're gonna smash that dead end head on.
I don't see why you're commenting on my work. We're not even in the same department.
Ulrich presses down on the table to ease the vibration shaking the floor fluid in his tank.
Because you used my materials! That was most of the nuclide R from both Laplace and the Foundation! You have to be kidding me! You get all you want while I'm here like some chump filling out endless forms just to get a few drops!
Badge on Medicine Pocket chest creaks under the stress of their shots.
Next time, just give me the funds and nuclide, and I'll be more than happy to run a few laps in the storm with that crap from the satellite and see what happens.
We would never endanger the life of a researcher like that.
That's why we should launch another satellite. No need to risk anyone's life, especially since we got plenty of colleagues with aeronautics experience.
Can't do that. Our best space expert is still in the Laplace care unit.
The smoke temporarily clears, and finally, one member returns to meeting to the main agenda.
So, Ulrich, what's the next step with your experiment?
I'm taking it outside, of course. The richest deposits of asymmetrical nuclide R aren't in the lab or the Foundation's warehouse. They're out there in the real world. We've been overlooking how the density of nuclide R has affected our experiment results.
Come on, Ulrich, that's just an excuse. Where would you find a higher nuclide R density than in a Laplace lab?
That might be the exact problem. The environment here is too controlled, too clean. The storm has never been the manifestation of order, but of chaos.
And how exactly do you plan on finding Chaos?
The scientists are fighting tooth and nail to secure the budget for their individual projects.
Everyone, please! If we just sit here arguing instead of getting out there and doing something, those sneaky researchers at Institutum Lawrence are going to get ahead of us!
He slams the butterfly pattern envelope heavily onto the table, adding yet more fuel to the fiery chaos.
Lawrence? That strange secret society?
Let's see what kind of bull they're spouting this time.
No medicine pocket, just toss the letter into the shredder.
Hurried footsteps echoes, and a clear voice cuts through the chaos.
Ladies and gentlemen, my apologies for interrupting your debate. The St. Pavlov Foundation has passed a new resolution.
To be continued. Scholarly exchange. Exchange is one thing, and competition is another. Without both, how can we improve? Alright, friendly discussion. What's this? A chaos roaring box. Lorette's butterfly attached a roaring ritual to an envelope. This is the device driven entirely by Arcanum. Are we really gonna use this? A black eyeball covered in snaps, complete with a mouth. Let me guess. It's got the stringent activation condition, experimental results that are near impossible to replicate, and an unconventional method of operation. Once again, it detects environmental change through genus, emitting screams at variable decibels levels to indicate different supernatural phenomenons. Well, it certainly fits their style. Our understanding of the storm is still quite shallow. Institutum Lawrence is offering a new perspective. The storm is not a phenomenon, but an ebb and flow of chaos, variable energy. The concept of phenomena is indeed the appropriate way to understand it. It seems you gain a lot from this exchange of letters. Are you planning to author a new paper together? You can just rename the asymmetric nuclear R to chaos energy, and there, our department's monthly research quota is checked off. It is without a doubt that Institute Lawrence has provided significant contribution to the artificial storm project. Before the 3rd, 6th, and 7th storm, Lawrence Butterfly predicted several potential storm eye locations, which emerged just as foretold. With the assistance from the field agent administration, I confirmed the status of the identical areas. Although they didn't perfectly match the core region of the storm, those coordinates did respond to concurrent supernatural phenomenons. As researchers, we must recognize the value of buildings upon the work of those who came before us. Yes, but for researchers, didn't perfectly match and concurrent don't constitute convincing enough reports? If you want the data, the p-value is as low as 0.0112, which means there's a significant correlation. The inputs and results can be verified, so the findings are reliable. Oh, that's just great. Fantastic. Soon enough, the entire Institute of Lawrence will know our RQ is reversing faster than time itself. Alright, last one, and then we can do some wishes. So, stage 10, piracy, not the fun kind. This is a real game changer for the records. Simone's statements is definitely a much more damaging bomb.
Miss Simone, did you just say something about the Foundation? Are we not moving off topic? We were discussing our efforts to identify substances immune to the storm. What is all this about the Foundation?
No idea, but it's sure to be the most cheerful, positive, wonderful news. That'll teach you to run Madam Buckethead out of town. Now it's going to be those Foundation dimwits calling the shots. Ha!
I won't stand for the Foundation ordering Laplace around. I'll set things straight with them later. You have my word. In fact, Miss Simone, you may relay my message now.
I understand your concerns, Mr. Enigma, but given our present circumstances, the Foundation's involvement may have a bright side. The resolution the Foundation relayed to me was principally concerned with your artificial storm project, Mr. Ulrich. What? Did you switch gears on us, Ulrich?
For Flux's sake, all I did was ask for a little support.
Speaking of, the Foundation also sent through their approval for your other requests. Mostly anyway. They agreed to supply the majority of your requested materials, including replenishing a portion of our asymmetrical nuclide R, and they've dispatched field investigators to assist us. Additionally, they've done preliminary screenings on the locations you mentioned and confirmed they meet the specifications of our experiments.
The Foundation has never been this generous with us before. Huh.
Joy rushes through Ulrich. He almost feels in a daze.
Don't go popping the champagne just yet, Ulrich! Our new bosses aren't going to come anywhere close to replacing all the asymmetrical nuclide R you've wasted.
Ulrich ignores them, his gaze fixated on the letter in Simone's hands.
Still, it's all too easy. What's the catch?
They want to witness our results, firsthand.
Table is backed once again.
Deal. Someone, anyone, take down the minutes.
Ulrich pounds the table once more, sending waves through the furrow fluid.
They also sent over another possible location that they haven't been able to confirm. A ship. The Foundation has requested that you investigate it personally. The Timekeeper will brief you on the details.
Fine, fish tank. You're off the hook for now.
Regulus glances at them, then her eyes fix on Ulrich, who is calmly removing his disguise.
Just so we're clear, you're not planning to smuggle out my treasure, right?
I wouldn't think of it.
Fab. And you're not angling that I foot the bill for this excursion, right?
Ulrich clears his throat before steering the conversation back on track.
The Foundation's intel appears accurate. After some preliminary checks, I am certain this will be an ideal locale to conduct our experiments. I've never seen such intense readings of asymmetrical nuclide R outside of the storm.
Now hold on a minute, Ulrich. You're not about to take a swim, are you?
Only if necessary.
With my record? You've got to be off your rocker, mate.
Or quickly abates her protest by presenting her with the record.
Not at all. It's time it was returned to its rightful owner.
She embraced the record like an old friend.
Oh, my darling. Oh, my treasure. Welcome home. Oh, I'll broadcast your tracks on Radio Apple for 72 hours straight and hold the rockinest party ever just for you. Oh, you've got my word.
The joy of the reunion pours out of her before a griever possibly flashes across her mind.
Hold on. You're not about to withhold my funds, are you?
Fret not, Regulus. Given its special significance to you, we made its composition analysis our first priority. Now that the first step is done, I'm more than happy to return it to you.
But what about your experiments?
Clutching her little thing in her hand, Regulus hesitates, then reluctantly hands it to Ulrich. Ulrich clears his throat again, donning the faint formality of his disguise once more.
Not to worry. I've already made arrangements.
He probably raised his coats to reveal Laplace's latest masterpiece. Dozens of identical little things records are stacked neatly together.
We went to great lengths to ensure these replicas were identical in every way. We even reproduced the ink used in the signature. Identical down to their heart and soul, courtesy of Laplace craftsmanship. We've achieved complete consistency in both composition and appearance.
Ulrich's proud tone is cut off by Regulus' exclamation of surprise.
What? Well, I've got to hand it to you. They're dead ringers for the real thing. But this is piracy. And not the fun kind. Musical piracy.
Drastic times call for drastic measures. I hope you'll find it in your heart to forgive us, Regulus.
To be continued. So we're at the 3:30 mark. Let's continue. For some reason I thought those two stages would be longer than was it 20 so minutes. So stage 11, the hateful hometown. Once tangled in a single arrangement, now unraveling in a sea of melodies. Cumulus clouds drift slowly across the night sky like the rolling waves of a sea, the countless stars glittering gently behind them. The damp sea breeze has laid a heavy layer of moisture on the surface of the ship. Standing at the observation window, the captain's face betrays no emotions. There's a faint, hesitant sound at the door. Is it Miss Grace?
Oh, Miss VTuber. I hadn't expected you to visit.
Grace's face lights up, every inch radiating joy. She eagerly opens the door, affectionately pulling VTuber into the room.
I must say it's a welcome relief from the onslaught of greedy businessmen and boorish officials. All puff and no substance. Bloated, lifeless. They remind me of a few specimens of decay from my collection.
Decaying specimens? Miss Grace, you mean body?
Hush. Let's just leave things at that.
She squints as she studies the faintly protruding veins in Laurel's hand, imagining the blood coursing accidentally through them.
So then, you're here to talk about something else? Go ahead.
Yes, Miss Grace. I just wanted some advice, if you don't mind.
Not at all, my dear. We are friends, aren't we? We are venturing into the unknown, so it is little surprise that you feel lost. But disorientation is a dangerous enemy. I am more than happy to help. Relax and keep an open mind, dear. We have a long night ahead.
Let's see. A few soft, subtle noise comes from outside, but they are not enough to disturb the impotent conversation between the two. Grace sets down the pocket watch, her gaze drifting past the slightly ajar door, a faint smile teasing her lips.
The thing is, I tried to ignore the outside world, just like you said, but I failed.
But Tutu instantly lowers her head.
The idea of raising a spear against people I know so little about, even if it was to avenge my home. I felt I had to learn more about these outsiders, to understand them. I'm sorry I went against your advice. I thought that learning about them would harden my resolve. I thought that I would hate them from the depths of my soul. That the hatred would be so strong that I'd feel no remorse. That I would see in them what you and Manus Vindicte do. But
in the face of her wavering resolve, Fatutu bows her head in shame.
Instead, after interacting with the people here,
noisy music hall, the bustling tourists, the bright lights, the sea shanties, it all lingers in her mind.
But Tutu, my dear, there's no shame in having second thoughts.
The gentleness of her response leaves Tutu momentarily stunned.
How could you not? This was but your first glimpse of a world so much wider than you knew. But you'll soon realize that it is nothing more than a dying corpse. Its lungs still clinging on to its last breath. The face rots first, you know. It's a nasty scene, I assure you. Those shrinking, putrefying eyeballs are always a headache for taxidermists. Next, the chest cavity. It rots out from the inside, bloating with noxious gases produced by its decomposing flesh, until it's ready to pop like a party balloon. Even at this stage, if you were to hold your breath and look only to the limbs, you might marvel at the artisanship. Such a perfect creation. Yet it dies all the same. So it goes. Do you see the world any clearer now? Take your time. Think it through.
Grace lightly taps her finger on the board beside her as if keeping time with the faint footsteps outside. Lost in thought, Fatutu remains oblivious to it all.
The outsiders are different from what I expected. Miss Grace, are you sure they're truly evil?
Grace glances out the window. Through the porthole, a strange vibrating sound grows louder and more distinct. Following Grace's gaze, Fatutu noticed an enormous shadow on the other side of the plot hole. Can parasol and railings really create such an enormous silhouette?
They are cunning, menacing, and at times have even been known to engage in eavesdropping.
Miss Grace! Watch out! It's some kind of monster!
There's no doubt, this cutting description has angered the shadowy intruder.
Huh?
It's here!
Scrambling for to grasp whatever is nearby. Signal lamps broomed in the heaving lanes and flings them
I'll
at the door.
protect you, Miss Grace!
Isn't that just I thought that was the name is it Barracuda?
I'll do my best. This book or this one? Please allow me. Great. No mistakes. Like a metaphor?
What an awful racket you made. Listen up.
Billion.
My next performance, bubbles bursting. Is that really the best you have to offer?
This book? Or this one?
Perfectly understood.
I can't read it. To transcribe.
Flee, mortals! Listen to the melodies of wind and waves. I dedicate this song to you.
Did I miss something?
We worked on this collaboration together.
The commotion seems to have come to an end.
Is it dead?
Breathing heavily, Fatutu musters the courage to rush out of the cabin. The figures on the deck is far removed from the terrifying enemies she envisions.
Oh, it's you, Barcarola.
A familiar tear-streaked face emerged from the aftermath of the chaos. The captain, however, seems unfazed by the disleveled state of her crew staff.
Miss Barcarola, what a pleasure to see you.
Have you lost your mind, Fatutu? I've been looking all over the ship for you to thank you for the lamps you made. This is a funny way of saying you're welcome. Not even the rudest student in Cremona would attack someone for saying thanks.
A familiar term springs to her lips, sparking Fatutu's curiosity.
Cremona? Where's that?
That's really not what matters here.
Settle down, please, ladies. This was only a small misunderstanding, wasn't it? As both your captain and your friend, I hope that you might be able to resolve this. I do believe I could see you two becoming fast friends.
The captain's overture are anything but subtle.
Fatutu here is eager to learn about the outside world. And I'm sure you must have many stories to share, don't you? Consider it a favor, in exchange for those sea mother's eyes.
It simply wouldn't do for the captain to leave these two in such a state.
Why don't you take a seat, Miss Barcarola?
She moves aside, extending two delicate hands to them. The girl takes her hand, allowing themselves to be drawn close. Then they lean together on the railing. The sea breeze sweeps across the deck, dispersing whatever awkwardness there was between them.
You were quick to gloss over your hometown. Cremona, wasn't it?
Grace's voice is gentle and soft. Barracuda finally loosens the tension in her strings, speaking as she looked out over the moonlight weather.
Cremona, the city of islands, as they say. See, I was born in that awful, dreary old place. But I don't like to talk about it, Miss Grace.
Fatutu examines Barracuda's expression.
But it sounds like you still miss your home. So why speak of it that way? Is there something wrong with it? In Nukuteo, when we find something rotted in our village, we wrap it up in stinky grass and throw it in the ocean. Do you outsiders not do this as well?
Well, it's not completely rotted exactly. It's just...
He furrows her brows, seemingly searching for the right words.
In Cremona, everything is bound up with the violin. How it's made, how it's played, even the science of it. It fills the air and every conversation. You can't walk to the trattoria without tripping over a virtuoso. They come from Rome, Berlin, London, New York, Nairobi, Tokyo, Uppsala, people from far and wide, all crammed into one town. Not a day goes by without a concert, a symphony, or a festival musicale.
Am I misunderstanding you? Because to the Nukatai, the idea of a place with music and festivals every day sounds very... fun.
That's where you're wrong, Signora. It's no fun at all. At least, for me. To be Cremonese is to take pride in its music, its history, and above all, its violins. And you must learn to love the violin, the viola, the violoncello, and the bass, because there is nothing else. Every quartet is a string quartet. Every concerto is Vivaldi. Strings, strings, strings. The monotony is unbearable. The world has so very many instruments as diverse and as varied as the people that fill it. Even the shell around your neck could sing if you knew just where to tap it. But not in Cremona. That's why I speak of it that way, Fatutu. Because if I had stayed there, I would never have seen the music of the world and its instruments, and my crackling box would never have been able to know their sounds.
The Nukatai don't have many instruments. Not so many as you anyway. But we were never bored with what we had. I'm certain that your island holds great beauty beyond its music. If ever we grow tired of singing and dancing, we'd go searching for shells or swimming in the reefs.
You still have much to learn about the world beyond your islands.
Then you have no intention of ever returning home, Miss Barcarola?
Seemingly most ordinary question.
Return? No, never. They're too set in their ways, like old fossils. My vision of music grew beyond them, and I did too.
Burko cups her hands around her mouth and hollers out in the fog-covered
I won't
horizons.
force myself back into their little world!
Your determination is admirable indeed.
Glad to hear it. Then my position is safe for another day.
How could it not be? You are the very star of the free breeze.
Uh-huh.
Burko's face lights up with a renewed pride.
What about you, Miss Grace? You've never told us about your home.
It's a place of little interest to anyone. Not even worthy of naming.
Her demeanor is far more composed than the rambling chatter of Baracola.
They say a musician must be free of attachments to be truly creative. Perhaps this is true of captains as well.
No, that can't be right. The Nukutai believe that to stray from our home is the death of the spirit. If we travel too far and too long, our spirit shells develop cracks that no amount of Nuku glue can mend. And from these cracks come an intense sadness. The elders call it homesick.
Homesickness. See, we have this word as well. The sailors aboard often ask me to play the songs of their youth when they're missing their homes. So many different melodies. Thankfully, my crackling box has all kinds of instruments to suit their needs. I imagine it must be difficult for your people now. If you'd like, I could learn to play some of your songs and perform them. I'd be more than happy to help after all you've done.
That's kind of you. I'm sure it'll be of great help to us.
I'm more than happy to help, Patutu. It is my job after all.
The girls' conversation seems to stretch on forever, but the increasing frequency with which they rub their eyes clearly marks the passage of time. Eventually, the sun climbs from the sea, painted the surface a certain blue, and a ship's horn sound gently ripples across from its surface.
It appears the sun has caught up with us, ladies.
Mamma mia! The concert!
As she rubs her eyes, Sparrow catches a glimpse of the captain slightly shaking her pocket watch and remembers something equally important.
I promised Signora Regulus a rock and roll concert, but I haven't even asked her what instruments she needs. Ciao, ragazze!
With the hurried footsteps clattering down the stairs, Miracola quickly vanishes.
Thank you for talking with us, Miss Grace.
She has waited for Perico to clearly out of sight before speaking.
Don't mention it. I only hope that it was helpful for you.
I have one last question. I was wondering, how do you stay so determined?
Alright, to be continued. Is there any reading for the next part? Nope. Alright, so that is the actual end of end for today's one. So thanks everyone for coming out for today's stream. We got from, let's see, we got up to stage 11 for the new event for the 2.4 update. Alright, let's go to the ending soon screen now.